Hello everybody, and welcome back to MUFC MPB here on YouTube. My name is Brooks, and today is Monday the 2nd of December, the final month of 2024. Yes, we are in 2024, the final month of 2024, which means we're only 1 month or less than 1 month away from the January transfer window. Now, in this episode or this stream this morning, we are going to be speaking about a couple of transfers. We're obviously going to speak about, well, a little bit about the 4-0 win against Everton yesterday. And a couple of Ruben Amorim's comments after the game, which some people might find positive. Some people might find a bit, what is the word? A bit, not excessive, but maybe a bit, I can't even think of the word. Begging it a little bit, I don't know. But we'll speak about a couple of those things as well. But as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail of this stream, you will see that Real Madrid are interested. Well, you will see that Diogo Dalot and Patrick Dorgu, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, are the thumbnail stars. I'm going to start off with Diogo Dalot because this is somebody that really does divide opinion in the Manchester United fan base. On one side, you have we love Diogo Dalot. He's a very consistently solid. He's a good athlete, good on the ball. He can play in his actual position, which I believe is right back. He can play left back, right wing back, left wing back. He can also play in the middle in terms of the style of football he was playing under Eric Ten Hag. Obviously, we weren't doing too well under Ten Hag, but Diogo Dalot was one of the very few players who could genuinely say, I don't think I let the manager down. And that's the side I'm on. I'm a big fan of Diogo Dalot, and Mourinho was right. He's going to, well, when, he did sign him for Manchester United from Porto, I believe in 2017 or 2018, he did say that Diogo Dalot is going to be here for 9 or 10 years. Maybe at the beginning, we didn't think that was going to be the case because of the way that he was performing. We loaned him out to AC Milan, almost like a last chance saloon. He did well there, came back, didn't get minutes straight away. Then he slowly but surely made himself into a first team starter. It didn't help his situation that he picked up a few injuries, but also on the other hand, when Aaron Wan-Bissaka might have had an injury or missed a game or two, Diogo Dalot came in and made sure that he gave the manager something to think about. He always put in solid performances, and he is someone that I do value quite highly at Manchester United. However, according to Relevo, which I believe is I want to say Spanish. I can't read Spanish, so I don't really know if that's Spanish or Portuguese or something, but I want to say it's Spanish. The Spanish outlet called Relevo have stated Real Madrid are interested in Diogo Dalot. They have asked Manchester United about him and been told his price is 50 million euros. Now, if I just 50 million euros in pounds, that's around 40 million pounds, 41 million pounds. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I think that might be a little bit too low. You still got someone there. Isn't he 25? Diogo Dalot? He is. Yeah, he is 25. I was right. We got a 25-year-old fullback who's got a lot of experience at the highest level, international football, European football, Premier League football at the very highest level. I reckon he's got about 2 or 3 more gears to go up. Because if you look at the way he plays, the qualities that he possesses, and the impact that he has on the Manchester United team, ball retention is very good. Obviously, everybody loses the ball sometimes, but I think in general, his ball retention is very good. His first touch isn't getting spoken about enough. So many times he's been the outlet for Onana in goal, pinging it, someone closing him down. First touch is beautiful, straight inside, under no pressure in about half a second. His composure is very good. I know he's had a couple of shots on goal and they've been kind of shit, but okay, he's a right back, he's a full back, he's a defender first and foremost. If people are going to judge him off the fact that he missed a couple of sitters, then you're looking at the wrong type of a person for those qualities that you're trying to judge someone on. Big up Anton. What you saying, Sosa? Hello, Y. Bath time. Hi, Anton. I'm very surprised with Davies and Trent on the market. If any fullback is going to go over. I'm very surprised with Davies and Trent on the market if any fullback is going to go for over 35 million. We also have to take into account... Okay, I was having a conversation with my... I'm actually going to change... I'm using two monitors here. And the webcam is here, but my face is here. And some of the information is here. So I keep looking over here, but it don't look right. So I'm gonna move it because it's kind of putting me off. And then I might stop looking at the other screen so much. But I was speaking to my friend about this yesterday because we were speaking about how Rashford has a pretty interesting price or asking price on the market. So when you're buying a player, I want you in the comment section down below to let me know if you agree with what I'm about to say. When you're paying for a player, it doesn't matter whether you're paying for a player who is Marcus Rashford, or you're paying for a 19-year-old, or you're paying for a 35-year-old. It doesn't matter who it is. This applies to everybody. Some more so than others. But let's say Rashford has a market value, just in terms of the quality of player he is, just his playing ability. Okay, no face, no case. Rashford's playing ability probably warrants around 50, I think, to 55 million pounds. But that's not how much I think Manchester United would be demanding from another club, because what then has to happen is when you buy someone like Rashford, for example, you don't just buy Rashford, you buy the press, you buy the media, you buy the attention to your club. You're almost essentially buying another brand, because Marcus Rashford is a brand, and you're also buying the impact that he could have on your club. Now, if you're PSG, for example, because, you know, they are the club that are linked to Marcus Rashford, they're probably saying to themselves, yeah, he's probably worth around 50 million, just purely based on his ability as a player, 55 million. But we're going to win the league anyway, so we're not buying Rashford to win the league. What we really want to do is win the Champions League. I'm not saying Rashford alone comes in and wins PSG the Champions League. With all the other signings that they've made, they've really improved, I think, the overall ability of their squad with players like Vitinha, João Neves, Bradley Barcola coming through, William Pacha. I know they haven't done well in the Champions League, but this is just a hypothetical situation. I think with all the money that they've spent on the rest of their team, buying someone like Rashford, who does have a proven track record of scoring goals, I'm going to quickly dispel this myth that he has a season off every other year. Really, he's only actually had 2 bad seasons out of 9 for Manchester United. I think the standards are just quite high for Rashford, so anything below like 25 goals and assists does seem like a bit of a failure. But when you buy Rashford, or when PSG want to buy Rashford, they have to take into account the fact that they believe he might be good enough to help them push for the Champions League. That adds a bit of value on, because then what you're doing is bringing someone in who in the long run, or hopefully for them in the short run, can propel them to win another trophy. Big cash injection, big cash boost. You want him that bad? You think he's going to win? Manchester United are going to make you pay an extra 5, 6, 7 million for that. All of these factors come into the price. So when you have someone like DALOT, or when you have someone like Trent, I know Trent's contract is up, so that does knock off a lot of money. And who was the other guy? Alphonso Davies as well has a short contract. Well, doesn't have long left on his contract. Yeah, they are going to go for cheap. But when you have someone like Diogo Dalot, let me just double check when his contract is up, because I might be wrong, but I believe he signed one relatively recently. Wasn't it in like the last year or something? I don't know when his contract is up. Yeah, I've never heard of the word Veblen goods. But yeah, that is what I'd be talking about. I'm talking about not just a player, but everything that you get with the player. That's why I gave Marcus Rashford as an example, because when I say to my friends, oh yeah, we'll probably get about 70 mil for Marcus Rashford, they're like, no, what? Someone said to me yesterday, Rashford is worth 35 million. And that's what made me talk about this, because first of all, don't disrespect Marcus, don't disrespect Rashford. Marcus Rashford is more than a football player. He is a celebrity, especially for a team like PSG, so big on their brand awareness and building the brand. They would have to pay a little bit for that. And I think, in my head, Diogo Dalot has a couple, maybe 2 or 3 years left on his contract. I might be wrong. Let me know if I am. But 50 million euros, 40 million pound. I think you got to add on. I think you probably sign him for about 55. He's 25. He has a lot more room to improve. He has a few years left on his contract, and he already is a very good player. He does add a lot to the team. Yeah, 2028, so he has 3 years left. I don't think 40 million pounds is enough, in my opinion. I think Manchester United should be looking to get at least 50 or 55 million pounds for Diogo Dalot. Because okay. When we sell Dalot, this is something else that we have to take into consideration. When we sell Dalot for 40 million pound, any replacement, I'm a firm believer of any replacement that you get for a player that you've just sold, a first team starter, you don't go and sign someone who's not going to be starting in the first team. Dalot is a starting 11 player for Manchester United. What other player could we realistically go out and get for the same price or less that we sell Diogo Dalot for, that would come in and do at least the bare, they have to at least be able to match what Diogo Dalot was outputting. This is what I believe. I don't think there's enough quality out there for the price that we're looking to sell Dalot for, that could come in, do at least the same as what he was doing when he was here, and then be able to improve on that. Let me know. I don't want to hear names like Porro. I think they're similar players in terms of the way they operate on the wing back role. But yeah, Porro would have to go for at least 75 million. We all know Daniel Levy. Tottenham aren't going to be, oh yeah, you can have him for 35, 40, maybe 45 million. They're going to be saying we want 60, 65, 70 million pound for Pedro Porro. So I don't count him as an example. Is my camera here? Let me just sort this out, what is going on. You might have even heard it disconnect and connect back. I'm not sure what's going on, to be perfectly honest with you. All right, this is a stream where you're gonna have to close the tab and just listen. This is now a podcast, guys. What I'm gonna do instead is just do a bit of improvisation and put the tweet that we're talking about on the screen. That is what I'm gonna have to do. And this, whilst you bear with me, is gonna have to be the way it works for the next 10 or 15 minutes. Oh my god. Okay. Right, improvisation. This is what we're doing. This is definitely what we're doing in big 2024. So this is what we are looking at right now. And this is what it's going to have to look like. I'm so sorry, MPB. Technical difficulties. Adapt, improvise, and overcome. Raw. And we'll put that down here, so it at least fits in to the screen. Become a VTuber. So now this is a podcast. Real Madrid are interested in Diogo Dalot. They have asked United, and then it goes down like this. All right. So this is another name which I just saw in the comments as I was trying to figure that out. This is Bath Time says, Veblen goods are your Neymars, etc., who will always be overpriced compared to the market because of the X Factor. Yeah, of course. Marcus Rashford is a brand, especially because he is a Nike-endorsed athlete. And, of course, PSGR with the Jordan brand. I think that would be very good. It would help. It would help their brand as well. This is why I think a right-footed fullback won't go for a lot this summer. The big one is Trent, available on a free and Dumfries, Frimpong. Okay. You've brought up something very, very good here, and I'm going to speak about that for a few minutes. The Dutch national manager doesn't think Frimpong is a right back. The way Bayer Leverkusen play utilises Frimpong in a more advanced role around the right mid / if there's a position between right mid and right wing, you put Frimpong there. Dumfries as well. I don't know. I think because of his age, it's quite limiting. He's touching 30, or he might already be 30. Denzel Dumfries, by the way, best name in football. He is 28, so he'll be 30 in 2026. So to be fair, I think I'd say he's prime age. Apart from Manchester United, though, nobody's really actually gone in for Denzel Dumfries. And I know Inter Milan are one of the, I'd say, top 3, top 4 sides in Europe right now. You've got Liverpool, Inter Milan, Barca maybe, Bayern, but Inter Milan are definitely up there. Maybe Napoli. Inter Milan are definitely up there, so he probably wouldn't leave. But I don't put Frimpong in this category of right-footed right backs. I see him more at bare minimum a right wing back. He's not. You don't look at Frimpong and think, yeah, right back, defensive beast. You think of Frimpong as someone who's going to operate at the very least in a right wing back role. And I just seen a comment there from Bath Time, 100% correct. I think that's a reply to Nubis. But Trent, yeah, we shouldn't really talk about Trent in terms of affecting the market because there's only one team he's going to go to, or two. He either signs a last-minute extension at Liverpool or goes to Real Madrid. So he's not involved, in my opinion. Yeah, there's no video, Sosa. My webcam disconnected for like half a second and then connected, and I'm not going to end the stream, restart the software, and then go again. I'll just improvise. Because that's long for me, and it's probably even longer for you guys. Nubis says, Kirkes, Dorgu, 8 Nori. Dalot is basically playing at his less favourable position because of injuries. If we sell Dalot, it's because we need to raise funds for a left wing back. Again, very, very important point that you bring up here, Nubis. I'm glad you did. Because I think, although you are correct, I think you're also wrong. You said it, so you pointed out why I think you're wrong, but that is also another reason why I don't think we'd be selling Dalot for a left wing back position, because realistically, come the end of the season, I know we've got injuries now, but come the end of the season, when I guess the big sort of transfer haul is going to happen, if there is one, when we look at the left backs, when we look at the right backs as well, or right mid, whatever position it is, when they have their list of left backs, it's going to be Luke Shaw, it's going to be not Mazraoui, it's going to be Malacia. Underneath that, it's going to be Harry Amas. So there's going to be 3 left backs. And on the right-hand side, it's going to be Diogo Dalot and Nusayr Mazraoui. If we then go and sell Diogo Dalot, he's not going to affect the left wing-back position. He's going to affect the right wing-back position. So there's only going to be Nusayr Mazraoui there. If we sell Dalot, we're going to be looking for a direct replacement for Dalot. Preferably someone that could possibly play on the left. Also as well, my brother's just coming back from Jamaica, so you might hear me say hello or something. I'm not sure if he comes through the door. I don't know when he's coming back. He might be on stream. We're going to be looking at a right wing back or a right midfield. Now, Frimpong, I think in this system, yes, very, very good player that could work and do wonders for Ruben Amorim in the right wing back / right midfield role. Denzel Dumfries as well. Whether we go back for him or not, I don't know, because of the way Amorim wants to play. He prefers his wing backs to take on demons. Look at Ahmad, thriving in the right wing back position. We're going to speak about the game yesterday as well. Thriving the right wing back position because he's a high intensity, doesn't give players any time, and when he gets the ball, his main objective is to beat his man and create opportunities. Now, if we go for Frimpong for the right wing back position, I think that's perfect. However, I don't see him as a right back. I see him as a right wing back, right midfield / right winger. Now, if we went and signed Dumfries, yes, he would fit as well, but I don't think he would be as good as a Frimpong in the right wing back role. Now, if we then go for a left wing back, we'd have to be looking to move on a player. Now, I said Luke Shaw fits in that left wing back position. However, I think he is the model fit for the left centre back position. And I think he's a better for that position than Lisandro Martinez because he has more pace. He's very, very underrated on the ball and he doesn't really feel pressure that much. His ball retention is very high. So, I think that's my brother coming in right now. You're going to have to give me 1 second, guys. I need to open the door and stuff. Hello? I'm doing a video right now, so I'll be like 20 minutes. I'm doing something right now, so I'll be like 20 minutes. Sorry about that, guys. Life. So I think he is the ideal player to play in the left centre back position. For the left wing back, let's go through those names again. Kerkez, where is that comment? Kerkez, Dorgu, and Aït-Nouri. Dorgu is a right-sided player. He plays for Lecce. I don't really know anything about him. I did a little bit of research. He is a right midfielder by trade, I think. So we wouldn't be looking for a left-sided player to replace Diallo, basically, is what I'm saying. I still think the person we should get is Giovanni Quenda from Sporting Lisbon because, of course, he's young. Amorim put a lot of trust in him at Sporting, and I think he might be his perfect model of player. You've got someone there who, as soon as he gets the ball, is looking to beat his man and create opportunities. And you have the potential there for someone who could go on to be a very, very good player for Manchester United. Let me just read through a few more of these comments because there was another one there from Nubis that really did catch my eye. But I'll reply to Sahil first. Do you think Dalot can go to Madrid? I think he can go to Madrid. What people don't realise about Dalot is, I think, in my opinion, he is a physical phenom. Just look at the way he plays. Look at his body type. He's a very built, very, very, very athletic player who can really play 90 minutes 2 or 3 times a week. And that's a quality there that really shouldn't be underestimated. Above everything, availability is the best quality any player can have, which is why someone like Bruno Fernandes is so important to Manchester United. And I would put Diogo Dalot in that conversation as well. I think it will be a shrewd signing for Madrid because, one, they have the money, so they would be able to pay what I think Diogo Dalot is worth, all things considered, around £50 million. Someone said they don't think we get... Yeah, Nuba said, I don't see anyone paying over 30 for Dalot. Just a player... 35, I think, plus the fact that he'd be there for a very long time. There is a lot of room for improvement. And he is a very reliable player, in my opinion. I think they would be paying a bit extra for that. Bath Time said, if you know anything about Amorim and tactical periodization, Victor Frade... What? Oh, players that lead training are vital to what they want to do. And we know that Diogo Dalot is someone who excels in training because of comments from Bruno Fernandes, because of comments from past managers, and because I think, most importantly of all, you might not like it, but you have the seal of approval from Ronaldo. Ronaldo, speaking about Dalot, he always speaks positively. He always speaks highly of him, of his work ethic, of his concentration, and his seriousness and what other word am I looking for? Attitude when it comes to training. He's someone who's always looking to improve. Nuba says Mazraoui should be our long-term right wing-back when Euro starts playing. We don't need Frimpong. We do need backup, though. I know Mazraoui probably is our best player at the moment, or he is performing the best on a consistent basis. But it's just as simple as what happens when he tweaks his hamstring, what happens when he picks up a little injury. For those 5 or 6 games that he might not be available over the season, we need someone to come in who can almost replicate what he produces for the team, or if not, push him push him for a starting position, even when he is fit. Whether you like Mazraoui or not, if someone comes in and they're better than him, he needs to get dropped. Not because he's not good enough, but because there might be someone better suited for the position. Regardless of how good he is, if someone better is there, you play them. We're always looking for the best team possible. And we've already seen Ruben Amorim isn't scared to rotate the team. He isn't scared to move players out of position. He isn't scared to drop people. And I think that's something that we should be looking for in a manager, and that's something that we should be quite happy about, because one of the things under Ten Hag was, yeah, someone might not have played well, but they might not have got dropped because it was more of a, I know we didn't play well last match, but now is the time for you to prove yourself. And, you know, that is good. Players shouldn't just be dropped because of, you know, half that wasn't good or a bad performance. But there comes a point where if you've got Mazraoui and he doesn't have a bad, and he has a, you know, a relatively bad game, and then the next game isn't bad, we can't have a situation where he's actually the only person there, so we have to carry on playing him through the bad form. We need to be able to just, okay, you're not playing that well right now, we're going to drop you, we're going to give you time to recover or whatever, but in the meantime, we have Quenda there, or we have Frimpong there, or we have Denzel Dumfries there. We need that option. And I think this is why we need to sign players who are as good as what we already have, or even better. Is United paying 60 million for Sporting wingback Quenda? If we were to get him, you'd probably be paying around that because of his quality right now, because of his potential and the fact that Ruben Amorim knows him like the back of his hand, and he would come in and probably provide direct competition straight away for that position. We do need, Bath Time says, we do need cover in those wingback areas. Competition always brings out the best in players. Exactly. We are going to buy Quenda. Technically, he would include Ahmed on the right wing-back position. Yeah, very true. I think we are also in dire needs of funds. Our profit for the last year was like 1 million or something, and I think we are incredibly tight for all the FFP. Yeah, we're on the line. We're on the FFP line, which is why I think if Rashford is looking for a move away and a suitable offer does come in, that is pure profit. I don't want him to go. But as I said, if we were able to get a large amount of money for Rashford, I would take it. I would take it. And of course, you'd have to replace him with someone of the same quality or better. Someone like Kvaratskhelia to play in the attacking midfield positions, I think would be a very, very good replacement for Marcus Rashford. Or, you know, use the money and go and get someone like Gyökeres. Because, look, Rashford isn't playing in the wing-back roles. He's never going to do that. Is he a pressing forward? Is he a central striker like Gyökeres, like Haaland? No, he's an inside forward. But unfortunately, I know he played well against Everton yesterday, but long term, unless he's able to mould his game, unless he's able to adapt and become a specialist in the positions that are available in Amorim's system, he's always going to kind of be... he'll fit in the spaces, but it will almost be like an oval-shaped object in a round hole. He'll get in, but it won't be a perfect fit, basically. Playing Ahmad in the wing-back reduces his work rate than playing in a winger. I think all that is the attacking midfield positions. Yeah, look, Ahmad might be doomed in a good sense. He's playing so well in the wing-back position. Amorim might be thinking, I don't see how I can play him anywhere else. Bath Time says, let's see how Ahmad gets on with Saka, Martinelli, Trossard, etc. Yeah, Arsenal on Wednesday is going to be a very, very good and interesting game. I know it's early in Amorim's reign. And look, realistically, I'm not expecting us to go to Arsenal and do what we did against Everton, because Arsenal are one of the best teams in Europe right now. But the way we played against Everton was a very, very good insight into how a successful performance under Amorim would look for Manchester United. Not every team is Everton. We absolutely tore them apart. However, there were instances in the game where they were dominating us. So that is something which we need to work on. I know the Arsenal game's big and, you know, form goes out the window when it's a massive game like that. But it would be more interesting to see Manchester United against Arsenal away from home later on in the season, because then, you know, we would see the team progress further down the line. Dan says, Mzungu says, Luke is not fit enough to play left wing back. Terrell undetermined. I would assume you're talking about Harry Amas. Harry Amas may as well go on loan. We need a left wing back. I think Ari Amas should go on loan. Where's Tariq Lamptey? I don't know. I think that time is gone. I think that that phase has gone. He is very injury prone as well, so I wouldn't really want to bring him in. Why is Diogo not worth more than 30 in today's market? Nottingham Forest fullback. Yeah, 50. I don't think Diogo Dalot is worth 30 million. I think really if you're looking to sell him or sign him, 50 million plus, 55 plus, because yeah, there are other players that have gone for, if we were to go and get Kirkes, you'd probably be paying 45 plus. I think Diogo Dalot has proven and is better than Milos Kirkes, so I don't see why we'd be selling him for 30. Look up Victor Freud on tactical periodization, Anton. The Portuguese have based their entire football culture around it since the 90s. It's a massive insight into Amorim. I definitely haven't heard the name Victor Freud or Victor Frade and tactical periodization. However, there was something which Bruno spoke about in terms of the way the Portuguese set up and their tactical implementation of football. Maybe it's the same thing, but I'm not sure. Obviously, yes, of course I'll look it up though. We all seem to be talking about replacing Ahmad as right wing back. I don't understand if he plays in the number 10. He will have less room. We found position that works for him. And this is the thing. This is what I spoke about a few minutes ago. He's doomed in a good way. He's absolutely excelled in the right wing back position. And this is the thing. This is the interesting thing, and maybe it's a bit confusing. Oh, should we really be calling this a right wing back position? Because if it was a right wing back position, we'd be playing 5-2-2-1 instead of 3-4-3. The three at the back as a starter suggests that it's not a wing back position and it's actually a midfield, a right midfield or a left midfield position. Because usually, if it's a 5 back, the priority for a wing back isn't to, the top of the list isn't to get the ball and beat your man. The top of the list is to provide defensive cover, offer an outlet, create a few opportunities, but really just provide that defensive stability. But in Amorim's system, the left and right midfield, their priority is to get the ball and beat their man, create opportunities for the attackers, and provide width. And that's why I think Ahmad's long-term future at Manchester United, given the style of player that he is, I think could be in one of the 10 positions. But if he literally is the best player on the face of the planet of the earth at right midfield position, then leave him there. Mazraoui and Ahmad can battle for that. If Mazraoui nails that, then Ahmad slap him in one of the 10 positions. But let me just go back to the comments. Do you think missing Mainu Martinez would be impacting so much? How should replace him? I'll come back to that comment when we speak about the Arsenal game a little time. We'll speak about that a tiny bit because there will be other streams between now and then. Never heard of this Dorgu fella. Honestly, I hadn't heard of him before in real life. I've seen him on Football Manager, but I don't really think that counts for anything. It's a shame we can't play. I'm mad as the wing back and get Cole Palmer to play in that 10 position. I would love Cole Palmer in that 10 position, but realistically, nothing for now. Rashford is with that Love Island grace, so now hopefully we don't see Belt. Yeah, listen, I don't want to say it's just a coincidence, but it's a big coinkydink that as soon as, rumours come out that he's dating someone new in the public eye, he's... Look, listen, don't care that Rashford is dating who, but it just so happens that he put in a very, very good performance against Everton as soon as this came out. So if that is the reason, please, Rashford, do not break up with her. But other than that, I don't really care. When I said we don't need Frimpong is because of Quenda. Frimpong is at that age that he needs to play all the time with. Yeah, and that's true. And that is very, very true. For the right wing back, yeah, I prefer to go with someone that knows the system, that has proved it, not just in the league, because Sporting, technically isn't a top 5 league. People might use that as a way to say, like, oh, he might not actually be good enough because when he comes to the Prem, it's going to be way tougher. But he did do it in the Champions League as well against tough opposition. So there is a high ceiling for Quenda there. If United sign Quenda and a left wing back with Amas as backup, what is Dalot's role? Backup. Look, listen. This is another thing as well. Manchester United haven't really been... Well, we've always had a decent big squad. But one of the issues that we've had for a few years now is we have our first team and then maybe 2 or 3 subs. But after that, when someone comes on, you're like, oh, God. It's someone coming on and you think, can they do it? Look at Manchester City. They sub someone off, Doku comes on, Savinho comes on, Gundogan might come on, De Bruyne, they had De Bruyne on the bench. Manchester United, at this point in 2024, if you want to win leagues, if you want to win the Champions League, you don't need 13 or 14 players. You need 15, 16, 17 players that can come in and the quality doesn't drop so much. So I think we need to stop worrying about backups in terms of, oh my God, if we sign a right wing back, what happens to Mazraoui? Just because we love Mazraoui. Manchester United fans are very, very sentimental in it. Mazraoui is very, very good, and he's a very good player, and he's performing very well in the team right now. But there might come a day where he's struggling, and we need to be able to just take him out and put someone else in that doesn't drop the quality so much. And that's why we need to be signing players, not just every player we sign, I think, should be pushing for the first team, apart from a couple that you do sign as squad players. I'd gladly take a point at Arsenal. Adam says, I'd gladly take a point at Arsenal right now. Draw can be a good result of the Emirates. We're 6 points off. We're 6 points off Arsenal. Obviously, a win would be fantastic, but as long as we don't widen that gap between us and Arsenal, I'm all for that. Bruno deserves to miss a game and give Mount a run and rest his foot. He's 100% not going to miss the Arsenal game. Cheeto might be on the bench, unlikely, but you never know. Very unlikely that he'd be on the bench, but technically he was brought in as Manchester United's third choice striker. So it'll be interesting to see how much first team action he does get this season. We definitely will see him on the bench at some point this season. Hopefully he doesn't get injured or anything like that. But in terms of, we'll probably start him against fucking Tottenham or something. Very, very unlikely. I don't think that will happen. Not yet. Dan says, we shouldn't be worried about buying players in possessions. We're already strong. Definitely. There is enough games and rotation for everybody to get enough minutes as long as the quality doesn't drop. And yeah, that's the thing. I think we definitely need to sign a couple more attacking players. And we definitely need to sign a couple of players in a wing-back position. Other than that, straight away, in terms of the defence, in terms of the centre midfield options, I think we're all right. We definitely... we do need to sign another centre midfielder, someone like an Angel Gomez, who was reported to be, rumoured to be potentially signing for Manchester United on a free when his contract at Lille does expire in the summer. I love Amorim in-game management. The way he uses his subs is great. That was missing with Eric. And and that definitely was something that was missing with Eric. I know there's a few of you in the stream now that are probably wondering why you can't see my face. That is because my webcam disconnected for some reason. So on the screen, you will just see the reports. But we'll move on. We are speaking about Ahmed loosely, so we will move on quite swiftly to this. According to Mike McGrath, Manchester United sources say Ahmed's contract is firmly on the agenda in the next weeks. Ruben Amorim will hold talks over the winger's future and is believed to be keen on keeping him. 100%. Make sure this gets done, Manchester United. Don't fumble this. Don't go and give him $250 a week. I think the reported number that I saw was £75,000 a week is what they're looking to give him for a new contract, which I think is good. It leaves room for improvement. It leaves room for pay increases. If you went and gave him 200 now, although I don't think Ahmad is the type of player to sit on his laurels, make 200k, and then start taking his foot off the gas, it just doesn't leave room for much improvement. There isn't much incentive to play for a new contract, I guess. So I think if we were able to give him 75,000 a week, get him a few more years on the contract, I think that would be very, very good business for Manchester United, because people like Mazraoui, Mainu, Mount in this system, Ahmad, and a few other players, Manchester United should be looking to tie down and keep at the club for as long as possible. Because, look, we've already seen Mazraoui, we've already seen Ahmad, we've already seen Mainu, Højlund as well. I think in this type of team, I think could work. There are a few players that should definitely be looking to stay at Manchester United long term if we want to see genuine progress and hopefully success at the club. Did you see Harry Maguire staying? Do you see Harry Maguire staying beyond the season? No, I don't. Keeping Ahmad is like Keep him. Ahmad is like a roadrunner from Looney Tunes. Meet me. I think Amarim's. Did I just read that comment? Oh, I think Amarim's in-game management at the moment is more about spreading the physical load rather than tactical, etc. I can't think of a single tactical sub he's done yet, so I'm looking forward to that. Remember as well, we only have 2 games under Amarim so far, so there are going to be mistakes. There are going to be 3 games. There are going to be mistakes. There are going to be moments where you think, maybe that didn't work. But outside of Manchester United, he's 39, relatively inexperienced when it comes to management, although he has been around for a few years. First time in the top 5 league, and I think, as always, Manchester United is the hardest job to come into and perform and actually have people on your side for the majority of the time. But yeah, Adam's right. He clearly is our best right or left midfielder. He does the job absolutely perfectly, and I mean, the Everton game yesterday, look, I've watched the highlights about 8 or 9 times. You could definitely, obviously the highlights don't show the whole game, but when you're watching the game, you could definitely see the work that Amarim had been putting in training when it came to Everton. I think he said, or he mentioned someone as a trigger, a pressing trigger, and it was Jared Branthwaite, I believe, and you can see it in game. Like the stuff that Amarim's spoken about in a short time at Manchester United so far, you can actually see what he's talking about, and that's something which I think a lot of fans appreciate a lot, because there've been a lot of instances in the past where we'd had a manager and they'd say something and you think, what? But when you say Amarim speaking, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. We were doing that. You can see that he's working on that, and you can see the transparency. I wouldn't say transparency, actually. I'll say probably it's a bit the translucency in his words. He's not keeping secrets yet. And the tactics that he's implemented so far have worked. We haven't lost. We've won 2 and drawn 1. Convincing win against Everton. However, Amarim did say Everton should have had more out of the game. Not so convincing win against Bodo Glimt. However, Amarim said we should have had more out of that game. So it's things like that I'm quite happy about. Bathtime says he's done fantastic, Amarim. I've no complaints with him at all. Same, I agree. It's really hard to train a team with 2 games a week, so he's handling the physical prep of our team so well at the moment. Adam says no, Sahil, I can't, but who would want to pay his fee and high wage demands? He's talking about Harry Maguire there. Like against Ipswich, he brought on a pressing unit of Agate, Rasmus, Mount, and Xerxes, which showed they were used to train the centre back to play out from a high press, training top stuff. In my opinion, I think that made sense. I understand what that meant, but I hope that made sense to everybody else as well. Yeah, Adam, that's the main problem. I think there might be a reality check when it comes to players like Harry Maguire. If they don't see themselves having a genuine future at Manchester United in terms of the amount of first team opportunities they're going to get, they may be looking to play somewhere else. Because of course, when you have an international level player like Harry Maguire, he will be wanting. Look, World Cup is coming up soon as well. This is something which we have to think about. Next month, the World Cup is going to be next year, so we have to think about that as well. He's going to want to be in the USA for the World Cup. So if he's not going to be getting minutes, or if he's not confident that he's going to be getting minutes at Manchester United, he will be looking to go somewhere else. There's a lot of speculation around buying a striker. Who do you choose? I would choose Gyökeres. Well, he's not going to go into Greece anytime. Oh, LOL. That is funny. If you do have any more questions, though, definitely do get them in the comment section down below, because the episode is coming. Well, this stream today is coming to an end. I wouldn't write Maguire off. I think with how rubbish our team is in the air, there's a place for him in the squad for 2 more seasons. 2 more seasons? Look, with the quality of centre-back on the market right now, and the fact that we have a new exciting manager in, who's worked with one of these centre-backs, by the way, in Ousmane Diomande, I think the opportunity for Maguire to leave, us to recoup around 30 million for him, I think would be a decent amount of money we can get for him. I think we'll be able to go and do a bit of business somewhere else and buy someone who is actually would be better for the team than Harry Maguire. Ousmane Diomande being one of them. We already obviously have Lenny Yoro. Depending on how well Everton do this season, Branthwaite is obviously still available. Inacio, look, I don't know. Inacio at Sporting and Antonio Silva at Benfica. They're good, young centre-backs, but I don't know. I'm not just saying this because the hype around them has died, but I've seen them play a few times. Antonio Silva is definitely mistake-prone, as well as Inacio. I think there are better opportunities for Manchester United. If I had the choice of a Diomande or Inacio, I'm definitely going to take Diomande. I think he has a higher ceiling. And I also think that he would fit genuinely perfectly in the centre-back role for Manchester United. You could have a back three of Diomande, De Ligt, and Lenny Yoro. I think that would be very, very perfect with backups. If we were to go and get Branthwaite as a backup at the left centre-back, Luke Shaw as backup left centre-back, Mazraoui backup right centre-back. And then, of course, you have younger players coming through who have been training with the first team recently. We'll see what progresses there. If anyone pays 30 million for Maguire, that's a deal, cash in. Ineos had a plan for a core of English players, and I really want more Premier League signings. I think Maguire matches this. Branthwaite also matches that. I would also like us to go Tottenham and get that Dutch centre-back as a left centre. We are definitely 100% not. I don't think anyone's going to be able to sign Van de Ven for a while. Plus, the style of player he is, I think heavily reliant on his pace. And he's already had, even though he's very young, he's already had quite a few hamstring injuries. Over time, I think that could come to hinder him in terms of his main quality, which I think is his pace. And other clubs will be noting that as well. Yeah, he's a good centre-back, and I think he could improve a team that plays three at the back. But again, availability is any player's best quality, and he has missed quite a big chunk of his career at Tottenham through injuries already. So I think that would be risky. It would be nice if he was injury-free, but I think it would be a big risk to sign him, because it would cost a lot as well. It would cost way over 50 or 60 million pound, given the kind of unique quality that he does have as a centre-back. I think our academy is good to be in first team. We should work on that, definitely. Bath Time says Inacio and Diomande did get eaten up by Arsenal and could have conceded 4 or 5 to City in the first half. Van de Ven, yeah, Adam Wright, Van de Ven is injury prone. He just is injury prone. So I think we should probably try and steer clear of players that have a relatively recent history of big injuries. But yeah, I haven't said it again. I need to remember to say this. Remember, guys, if you do enjoy these streams, 11 a.m. Monday to Friday, make sure you do leave a like on the video. The webcam will be back tomorrow. It will be back literally the second I finish this. I'll just restart the software to make sure it's working properly. But if you do want to keep up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, make sure you do subscribe to this channel and follow MUFC MPB over on X. The link will be in the description down below. If you want to follow myself as well on X, or Twitter as it used to be called, make sure you do follow at Anton Brooks AMB over on X, where I do stream sometimes. I play a lot of Football Manager, so if you're interested in that, make sure you do go over and follow me. Yes, but make sure you do leave a like on the video today, and I'll be back with you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Bath Time, last comment here from Bath Time says young plus fast player equals hamstring injuries. Look at what happens to Michael Owen, man. Obviously different times, different sorts of recovery and surgery procedures, but we all know what happens when a player who is so heavily reliant on pace, that quick burst of acceleration, the quick twitch fiber muscles, when they do start to rip those muscles, when they do start to fail, the pace that we love them so much for does start to dwindle over time. It will be interesting to see how Van de Ven carries on playing throughout his career, but I don't think it's a signing Manchester United should and probably would make. So Hill says, we have sports scientists for that. Here's a hamstring injury specialist. Giggsy as well. Yeah, a lot of players. There are a lot of players who we all know that suffered from muscle injuries, which did affect their pace. And it is a shame to see, because watching a football player with such explosive power is a sight to behold. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Van de Ven nonetheless. But yeah, I'm ending this because I actually have to go back to work. I have something to prepare for today, which is very important. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 9 AM. Make sure you do leave a like on the video, hit that subscribe button, follow at MUFCMPB over on X for all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, as well as myself, if you're interested in that, at Anton Brooks AMB over on X as well. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys.